Hey guys, so I want to talk to you today about why signature scents should be personal. I have uncovered a few reasons as to why I think the way in which we are shopping for fragrance should be purely defined on skin chemistry, on the way the scent wears for you throughout the day, how it wears in your surroundings and in your environment. And I think primarily a lot of the psychology of fragrance lies in the fact that when we have memory association for events that have transpired, so let's say we were terminated or we just went through a breakup or a divorce, something, kind of traumatizing in that way. And we have a scent association to these events, it can make it really unnerving to relive those kind of traumatic and painful memories, which is what they are. And so my goal for these videos is to tell you that, memory association is, yes, pretty intrinsic to your mind, and it does play a very powerful role. And I think that when you're disassociating yourself from your past and marking a new version of yourself and a new narrative, I think finding a new fragrance is a great way to start. So in purchasing a new scent, you are shaking off your past self and you are embarking on this new journey of a new life that is fun and supportive and creative. And you want to be in the flux of life and let go of any energy that has drained you or people who have exploited you. And so scent is very much commonly associated to people, places, time, and events, as I mentioned before. So when you make a very firm decision and say, okay, I no longer want to remember what happened to me in, 2024, 2023, I was terminated from a job, I was let go, whatever. You do not need to succumb to that. You don't need to still have the memory association. You can totally say, okay, I'm going to pivot and I'm going to define this new version of myself. And this scent is going to tell my story and it's going to tell my narrative. And yes, it's going to define where I am in life and where I want to go. So that's what I mean. I mean, when we are so lost in the past and we let other people, make us feel inferior, or they make us feel small, or they belittle us, you are worth so much more than that. You deserve someone a scent who is going to allow you to be who you truly are. If you're not going to be true to yourself and be true to who you are on this planet Earth, then why bother? You have one life to live, and it is, considerably a short life. I don't think you should be wasting your time and wasting, especially, your time on scents that only half do it. You have to give yourself wholeheartedly. I would like to be clear here and say that the past will always be part of you, but I'm saying there's a way to not let it define you and define where it is that you want to go in life. So it's a big difference in letting it dictate where you are and where you want to go and letting it serve as a lesson. I think experience is the biggest lesson. There is no other way we can learn from life and learn from others other than going through our own experiences. I listen to a lot of self-improvement and I've listened to a lot of, self-help and books about relationships and books about health and finances and, psychology, betterment. I've listened to a lot of it. Brianna West is one person that I really enjoyed that one. The Mountain Is You. That's a really good book that I can recommend to you. I think when we are so, caught up in, oh, I did this mistake, or I let this person get the best of me, or, I'm letting, everybody walk all over me, like that is far from the truth. Like that is an opinion, that is a perception, that is whatever people are telling you, that they think that they have this hold over you, but they really don't. So yeah, I think breaking that habit and realizing that you're worth more and you're gonna, make a change, and getting a new fragrance is a good way to start. When you are getting a fragrance, you are defining your mark in the world. Fragrance is a lot of different art forms in one. It is chemistry, it is science, it is art, and this is what I truly believe. I truly believe that if you are making this clear, conscious choice, and you're saying, yeah, like this is my philosophy, this is what I stand for, this is what the qualities that I look for in a fragrance, if it's sustainability, if it's sure and aesthetic, if it's the materials that you gravitate towards, the quality, projection, longevity, what story does it tell? These are all your deciding factors. It's not like you can blanket everything based on a review, or a video telling you to get a certain scent just because it's trending right now, or just because there seems to be a lot of people that are going after this trend. That doesn't mean you have to hop on this bandwagon. You are the navigator, you are, in your ship, and you get to tell people that this is the story that I want to tell. This is my story. This is what I want people to know me by. And this is how I would like to be perceived. So, as I've said before, perfume is a lot about perception. And perception is constantly changing. It's a chameleon. It moves around, shifts around, changes color. I once read a review about Baccarat Rouge and how this dude on an airplane smelled it on a flight attendant. She was wearing Baccarat Rouge, because she liked it. She thought that was going to, be a good scent for her. She may love it. And this person on the plane immediately told her, like, you have to take that off. Like, this is extremely nauseating for me. It's making me nauseous. I'm assuming that has something to do with the ambergris in it. It's just an assumption. I don't know that based on fact. But yeah, he was extremely repulsed by it. And he asked her to take it off. So workplace fragrances are another topic of debate. Absolutely. There's a lot of, reform around what perfumes we are allowed to wear, if we should even wear them to work at all. I am against wearing perfume in the workplace. I think it's extremely insensitive to those around you, and for people with an allergy, people who may have a sensitivity to smell. And that's just my opinion. Anyways, this whole review about Baccarat Rouge, it goes to show that someone with a pay scale like a flight attendant is going after this highly luxurious product that is retailed at nearly $500, for a 2.5 fluid ounce. That is causing, I'd imagine a kind of financial hardship for her, because if it's something that she's going to get used to and she's going to keep wanting and repurchasing, maybe, in the future she will get a promotion or she will find something else in her life. But I think this idea that, hey, people need to like Baccarat Rouge because it's a highly sought after and luxurious item. It's very pricey. You know, it's sure, like, I think totally, like, if you are within your means to get it and it's something that aligns with your values and you like that smell, then absolutely, like, go for it. But if you're making yourself, like, in your heart, you feel inferior and you feel like you have this gaping hole, and the only way that you can fill it is by getting an expensive fragrance such as Baccarat Rouge, that's where the hardship starts, because you are now in a position where you have merited yourself to this idea of luxury. And luxury can mean many things. You know, you can be absolutely in a state of luxury where you don't have, a G6 jet or whatever, like, or like a mansion, in the Hamptons. This is one definition of luxury. For me, luxury is about having peace and clarity and having a sense of calm in my life. Like, I will absolutely cut anything that is giving me a lot of noise, that is taking away my security, my confidence. Like, anyone who tries to mess with me, I cut them off. I don't really have time to deal with bullies. I don't like bullies. It's, I am an INTJ. This is my personality trait, Briggs-Meyer. So yeah, I think if someone is going to make you feel inferior and make you feel like you have to bank out all of this, you deserve more respect. You deserve a brand and someone who's going to listen to you, and someone who is going to respect your finances, because they are important, especially today. And I think that you should absolutely take ownership of where it is that you are in life and where you want to see the projection, that future, that your bright and shining future, that you can be, very happy and feel that peace that you deserve. My last point here is talking about the way in which you want to define your philosophy going forward. So you want a fragrance, a scent that's going to show you where you are in life. So as an example, for me, I am a full-time working single mother. I have a 5-year-old boy, a very wonderful and sweet boy. His name is Kieran. I love him very dearly. And so the deciding factor for me when I am picking out a new fragrance is something that is going to be safe for him. He is my top priority. So when I am shopping for a fragrance, this is one of the factors that I consider, along with concept, brand, projection, longevity, materials. These are the things that I consider when I am selecting a new fragrance. And you want to ensure that this next new item that you are introducing to your life, it sits outside of any sort of aesthetic or like image or like projection, because these things are impermanent. They are fleeting. It's an idea in time and space. Like, you have this concept of what should be and what actually is. So this is what I mean. So when we're thinking of things in existence, we want to be thinking about what really is, what truly is, not what it feels like, not what it looks like. Oh, does it smell good? Does it feel good? This is superficial. Like, this is just on the surface stuff. What we're looking for is something that is going to ground you and give you balance. This is what I'm totally after. This is what I think is most viable when you are consuming is you want things that are going to give you a wholesome and balanced lifestyle. And again, with fragrance, this is where we kind of have to start disassociating ourselves, and it becomes really tricky because we've been using these products for so long. And I'll link my video here on memory disassociation if you're interested. And it's highly chemical, has much to do with our neurotransmitters. And I think that if you are on this journey and you're embracing this full new life that is ahead of you, don't sell yourself short. Don't commit halfway. I always think that the best things in life you do with like your head full on. Like every milestone that I've accomplished, that I've achieved in my life, I took it head on. If I was going to embrace my new life, if I was going to say my goodbyes and start fresh, I always did it head on with a full heart. So, and I think that you deserve more from fragrance. You'd absolutely deserve more. I think that if you're never going to question things as they stand, they're never going to get better. And that's what I'm always going to be fighting for. I'm always going to be fighting for better. I don't settle. And I have my values, and I have the things that I look for out of my life and that are calling to me. And that's what I'm going to continue to pursue. If you like this video, go ahead and subscribe, give it a thumbs up. I'll see you back here for the next one.